Our iSchool, Our Stories. Welcome to the podcast about the stories of the University of Texas at Austin School of Information, students, staff, and faculty.
What's up? My name is Bryce Harris, and this is my journey to the field of informatics at the University of Texas at Austin. I'm currently a junior studying informatics with a concentration in human-centered data science. My story starts in the South. I was born and raised in Houston, Texas, which is one of the most culturally diverse cities in America, which has heavily influenced my perspective on life and the way I view the world. When I was growing up, I was always interested in technology. Growing up in a single-parent household, we didn't always have everything we needed, but growing up with my mom specifically, she always showed me that there were paths to get what I needed. And one of the first technical projects I ever attempted and eventually completed was building my own personal computer for the use of my mom and I at home. This project really set the stage for my life going forward, as I knew then that I was extremely interested in computing as well as aspects of technology and the impact that they could have on communities like mine. As I got older, I fell in love with activities like sports, specifically football, as we are in the Lone Star State, and this began to drive a lot of my daily life. And as I approached college, I was even looking to play football in college. Unfortunately, I experienced some injuries, which ended up causing me to have to reflect on my past life, my skill set, and how I wanted to position myself going forward, which eventually led me to choose the field of electrical and computer engineering, which is the original major I had enrolled when I enrolled into the University of Texas. Like many people my age, my college experience at first was extremely non-traditional. During the midst of COVID, I was at home in Houston, Texas for my first semester, and eventually I moved out to Austin in December into my own apartment, completely living on my own, experiencing life on my own, and developing that into my second semester, where I was again in the field of electrical and computer engineering, playing with circuits, understanding low levels of computing, and really diving deep into the foundations of computing and electrical engineering. Even though I was in the field of electrical and computer engineering, I always knew that I was really interested in the people's interaction with technology and kind of that intersection between the technology and the people themselves that are using it. So being in the field of electrical and computer engineering, there was a lot of design and engineering, but not much focus on the people that were using these technologies. So I was always looking for ways that I could reach the people and understand how the people felt about the technology that we were creating. At the conclusion of my freshman year, I was able to land an internship at Microsoft, which helped to really develop my professional experience as well as how I view the operations and internal workings of corporations today. Through this internship, I was able to work with several product groups as well as consumers and customers in understanding customer voice surrounding Microsoft products. I was finally able to get into the intersection of people and technology, and this really helped to shift and drive how I felt I wanted to position myself for the rest of my career. During the same summer, I began to start to shop around for some other majors that might have been able to allow me to more position myself into this field and into this intersection of people and technology. And that's when I was able to connect with one of my former advisors, Jeffrey Willett, who is now an advisor in the Informatics school and is my advisor currently. After taking my first informatics course, I-301 Introduction to Informatics, I knew that this field was for me. I was finally able to find myself in between people, technology, and data, and I was really excited to be able to use my passions of blockchain, artificial intelligence, and machine learning to drive my education forward in these areas, specifically targeting my experiences in an underserved community as well as in a city like Houston, and being able to allow my background and my experiences to influence the education that I was going to have and the projects that I was going to do going forward. I have always been interested in doing projects that were meaningful to me and impactful to communities that I came from and interacted with growing up. So being in the informatics program allows me to do a lot of that work, as well as develop my skill set to be able to continue to impact the communities that I came from and that I have experienced and interacted with. Some of the main things that I really love and appreciate about the informatics program is the freedom and the interdisciplinary aspect and the freedom of choice to be able to decide on what exactly topics I want to drive through the projects and the skills that we are incorporating through our classes. So to be more specific, a lot of the papers that I write are centered around the topic of blockchain, whether it's for my ethics class or for my data science class or for my government class. A lot of the papers that I write are through a lens of blockchain technology, which allow me to gain deeper understanding as well as driving and thinking through the practical applications of this technology going forward in the future. I am extremely appreciative that the informatics program found me, and I am happy where I'm at. And as I branch into my senior year, I'm excited to continue my learnings about artificial intelligence, blockchain technologies, and the future of technology and the interaction between humans, underserved populations, and technology, and how we can use technology to uplift underserved communities and continue to improve the quality of life that we experience in this country as well as around the world.
And that's it for this episode. Tune in next week for more.